Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Grab the coat. It's a cold start out there this morning. Temperatures are in the 30s in some places. I'll show you when the temperatures will be even colder than this morning. Coming up.
And this morning, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson will give an update on his investigation into CNN. New developments in his battle with the news network over its reports about him.
New this morning, a huge federal investment into Wolfspeed's plant in Chatham County. The near $1 billion in funding it's getting to help pay for its huge facility near Siler City. And that facility will produce silicon carbide materials that are used in cars and phones. Well, we are here to get you up to speed here at 6 o'clock. We're glad you're with us. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, thanks for making us part of your routine here. Big week. I mean, we have a lot of things going on. We're counting down to the start of the fair. The rides get inspected today. Wrap that type of thing up. There's comets flying around in the air. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now, and it's chilly out.
It is, yeah. Big, coldest week that we've seen so far this season for sure. A live look at RDU. It's just dark out here right now, but we are going to see a really pretty sunrise. Skies are clear. 44 degrees officially at RDU, and our dew point's at 40. That's just a measure of moisture in the atmosphere. We take a look at temperatures. Lots of 30s on the map. 37 in Roxborough and South Hill, but a lot of our northern towns are looking at 30s, and down here in Sanford, now parts of the Sandhills have been in the 30s as well. Elsewhere, looking at mid to upper 40s. Fayetteville dropped to 47 now. Our temperatures are running anywhere from around 15 to over 20 degrees. Colder than they were this time yesterday. That's a big drop. We have a chance for some showers starting during the evening commute and continuing overnight. It looks like we could see some rain for the morning commute tomorrow. We'll go over Futurecast coming up. It'll be a cool afternoon, though. We'll see some increase in our cloud cover with temperatures in the mid 60s. Also, a new system in the tropics has a 60% chance of developing. We take a look at the computer model plots, and it looks like it's going to stay south into the Caribbean. I will show you the pattern that should keep it to the south coming up in just a few minutes. Ken?
All right, at 6:02, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Got a couple of incidents happening along I-95 this morning. Just something you should be aware of just in case you have family, friends, or colleagues coming in. This is happening on I-95 in the northbound lane near Keenwood. This is around the Four Oaks area. As you see, it's not causing any problems in that particular area, but we'll keep an eye on it for you. The other issue is a serious crash being reported on I-95 in the southbound lanes near the I-95 I-40 split. But here again, we're not seeing any problems in terms of any problems showing up on our sensors. So just keep an eye on that for you. Back here in Wake County, this crash on I-540 in the westbound lane at Capitol Boulevard. Here again, we're not seeing any problems, but we thought you should know about it just in case that's part of your morning commute. Listen, if you're heading out this morning, make sure you tune us in on 101.5 HD3 anywhere in the Triangle, or you can listen to us on 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
This morning, we will hear from Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson about his investigation into a recent CNN report. The news network reported Robinson made racist and sexually explicit comments on a pornographic website more than a decade ago. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is outside Robinson's office in Raleigh. And Kelsey, the report has certainly complicated Robinson's run for governor.
Jeff, they sure have, and Robinson has denied all of those allegations. This morning, he'll speak here at his office, and he'll be updating everyone on an investigation he says that he launched about those claims. A September CNN report claims Robinson made lewd and racist comments on a porn site, including saying he was, quote, a black Nazi, and wrote posts expressing support for reinstating slavery. Robinson hired a law firm to investigate how they originated and said he would, quote, go after CNN. Robinson is the Republican nominee for governor. He trails behind Democrat Josh Stein by a wide margin in recent polls. And so far, Robinson hasn't provided any evidence that would disprove CNN's reporting. We did reach out to CNN for a comment. They haven't responded to us yet. But if you want to live stream Robinson's news conference this morning at 9 o'clock, you can do that on WRAL.com. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
This morning, people affected by Helene can get help with insurance claims. The State Department of Insurance is opening a victim assistance center in Spindale, which is in Rutherford County. It will be open from 9 to 4 tomorrow and Thursday. A second center will open in Buncombe County in Arden.
Also this morning, Renee, the State Board of Elections will give an update about the start of in-person voting, which is now just 2 days away. Elections officials in western North Carolina are working to get polling locations up and running. 10 polling places will be open for early voting in Buncombe County. The update from the Board of Elections is at 10 o'clock this morning. We'll bring you any new information on our news at noon and immediately on WRAL.com.
And new this morning, Wolfspeed is getting up to $750 million from the U.S. Department of Commerce for its new facility in western Chatham County. The funding is coming from the Biden administration through the CHIPS and Science Act. Wolfspeed's new plant in Siler City will manufacture semiconductors for the future energy economy and artificial intelligence boom. Wolfspeed is also getting $750 million from investors and $1 billion from tax refunds. The plant is expected to open in full within the next several months. It will employ up to 1,800 workers.
Both presidential campaigns are making stops in North Carolina this week. Former President Donald Trump's running mate J.D. Vance will be in Wilmington tomorrow. Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate Tim Walz will be in Durham Thursday. That's the day in-person early voting begins. If you still aren't registered to vote, you can register and cast your ballot on the same day during early voting. It runs through November 2nd.
The North Carolina State Fair is just 2 days away, and today inspectors are finishing up their work to keep you and your family safe at the fairgrounds. That's where WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live this morning. And Laura, it is so important to make sure that these rides are in good working order.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Renee. And we know later this morning, the media will get a first-hand look at the process of checking rides just like this, making sure they're ready to go for Thursday. But this year, inspectors have been on the Midway for the past couple of days, evaluating close to 100 rides. The last time there was a major incident involving a ride here at the State Fair was back in 2013. The Vortex was a ride that malfunctioned and injuring 5 people. The Department of Labor has several guidelines to ensure safety. Amusement rides are inspected each time they are moved and reassembled at different locations across the state. The ride inspectors certify only the rides that meet the manufacturer's specifications 100%. So amusement rides that do not pass the test are not certified and are not allowed to open to the public until the necessary adjustments are made and they pass another inspection. So new rides this year will be at the State Fair, including the new State Fair slide, which is a giant 210-foot slide. A lot of people excited about that. And we know there's also the Candyland Funhouse adventure as well. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And make sure to come meet some of the WRAL team when you visit the fair. You can find our tent on the northeast side of Dorton Arena facing Restaurant Row. On Thursday, Chris Michaels and Kelly Arthur will be there from 2 to 3 p.m. And then on Friday, Jeff and I will be out there from 10:30 to 11:30. We'd love you to stop by and say hello, and we can meet you. You can find a full list of appearances plus ticket information, new foods, rides, and parking info in our State Fair guide. Just search State Fair on WRAL.com.
Today, the Wake County School Board will vote on more funding for fire safety in schools. This comes after an inspection earlier this summer found several malfunctioning alarms. The school board will consider more than $550,000 for fire alarm system replacement at Davis Drive Elementary. It'll also vote an additional $150,000 for fire watch services. Another $40,000 would be used for fire alarm inspection and repairs. The school board meets at 5:30 this evening.
The candidates for State Superintendent of Public Schools met for a debate last night in Southern Pines. They were asked what their priorities would be with the General Assembly. Republican candidate Michelle Morrow answered first, followed by Democratic candidate Mo Green.
We have been fighting, as I stated before, to get boys out of girls' sports, to focus on academics rather than political and social activism.
So I'll focus on funding issues when the General Assembly comes back into session, so that we can focus on things like teacher compensation.
The Public School Forum of North Carolina sponsored that debate.
Aaron Rodgers made a late attempt at a comeback last night in their game. Came up a bit short on this pass and in the game overall. 2 minutes left. That pass picked off by Taron Johnson of the Buffalo Bills. Rodgers' receiver fell down there trying to get that reception. The Bills were able to run out the clock from there and hang on for a 23-20 win. In 15 minutes in what's trending, a special moment after the game between two opposing players.
6:09, a family escapes danger only to find tragedy halfway around the world. Heartache in western North Carolina after families seeking safety from the war in Ukraine is swept away in floodwaters. Their desperate search to find a grandmother and a boy.
Also, pandas making a return to Washington, D.C., the new arrivals that are coming to the National Zoo today.
And the kids are going to be more comfortable in their coats this morning. A temperature at first bell will be in the mid-40s, even upper 30s in some parts of the viewing area. After school, it will cloud up. Temperatures will be in the mid-60s for highs this afternoon. We do have some showers in our forecast for this evening and even into the morning commute tomorrow. I'll show you the timeline.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
.613, and we take a look at what's happening outside right now. It's a chilly start. Temperatures in the Triangle are in the mid-40s right now. But we're looking at some upper 30s near the Virginia line. So a jacket, a coat will feel good out there this morning. And you'll probably see kids dressed up warmly at the bus stop this morning as well. We're looking at those chilly temperatures again this morning, starting off in the low to mid-40s in some places. This afternoon, we'll see increasing clouds, but it's not going to rain as the kids are getting off the bus. It is likely that we'll see some showers, though, overnight tonight. Our afternoon temperatures are cool at 64. And again, we have that chance of some showers right around the time of the evening commute. We'll give it a 20% chance today. And then tomorrow morning, we may see some showers for the morning commute, about a 30% chance. We'll walk through the timeline coming up, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. This is just a minor crash on I-540 westbound near Capitol Boulevard, not causing any problems for you this morning. Let's head outside and show you what's going on the Beltline. This is a southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 and Rock Quarry Road, traffic flowing nicely in both directions. Similarly, on the northern loop of the Beltline, I-440 near Capitol Boulevard, the westbound lane's coming toward us. Nice going this morning. If you're getting ready to head out, stay updated on the news and all the latest traffic conditions, 101.5 HD3, or you have a couple of other options, 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham. Of course, Jeff, I'll have another update in about 10 minutes.
Thanks for that, Ken. No, you will. Loved ones of a family who escaped from Ukraine to western North Carolina are right now brokenhearted. Several members of that family were swept away in floodwaters from Helene. Anastasia and Demetrio Sagan found later dead. Their 13-year-old son, Yevgeny, and his grandmother, Tatiana Novitnia, also were unaccounted for. And we spoke with Ricky Wiebe, who lives in Los Angeles. And he says his brother, Ryan, allowed his wife Anna's family to live on their extra land in Yancey County after they escaped from Ukraine. They were inside a trailer when Helene's floodwaters swept it away.
Never thought that, Anna's entire family, our entire family would be missing, washed away with the river.
Also, you can find a GoFundMe link and help the Wiebe family on our website by going to WRAL.com.
The family of the man who died during Helene's flooding while at a plastics plant in Tennessee is suing for wrongful death. The lawsuit claims several employees of Impact Plastics died because of reckless and negligent conduct. The suit claims that employees asked to leave as waters started to rise. It goes on to claim the company simply told them to move their cars to higher ground, and by then it was too late. 6 employees are believed to have died in the flooding.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, Israeli strikes across Gaza overnight have killed at least 40 people. They say that some people are still buried under rubble, so that number could rise. But these airstrikes hit a residential building, homes, and a refugee camp. Also, this morning, we are learning this. Israeli is sealing off northern Gaza and may be carrying out large-scale force transfer of civilians. The military has ordered all civilians north of Gaza City to leave, and they have blocked all food from entering northern Gaza as well.
This morning, a funeral is happening for a top Iranian military commander killed in an Israeli drone strike. Mourners lined the streets for a procession honoring Abbas Nifaroshan. Now, he was killed along with a Hezbollah leader in a drone strike on Beirut last month. Speeches and eulogies during the service included the phrases "death to America" and "death to Israel."
Covering Wake County, the city of Apex says people can expect their utility bills to be back to normal in about a month. In July, a hack knocked the town's network offline and people couldn't pay their bills electronically. The most recent bills reflect the usage for a 3-month period, so they were twice, even 3 times the normal amount. A third-party company will review the town's utility bills in the next few weeks.
This morning, 2 giant pandas from China are expected to land in the U.S. on their way to the National Zoo in Washington. Bao Li and Qing Bao are traveling on a jet right now dubbed the Panda Express. They are both 3 years old. The zoo's last 3 pandas went to China last year. They went back. That loan was part of China's panda diplomacy program. The National Zoo's panda curator says the next step is all about helping the panda species.
We have accomplished so much. One of our jobs was to crack the code on giant panda reproduction. If you want to save a species, you have to make more of them.
And the countdown to their highly anticipated arrival is happening this morning on Today, and you can watch it right here on WRAL starting at 7 o'clock.
Such as panda diplomacy, so cute. And their names, Bao Li and Qing Bao. Bao means treasure in Chinese, so they are certainly treasured. Well, we treasure this fall weather, and Elizabeth, mostly because it feels crisp out there, no more mugginess.
It's gone, and maybe, definitely gone for a while, and possibly gone for most of the time until we get to maybe April of next year. Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, Chapel Hill, all clear this morning. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill restaurant. That sun's going to come up shortly, and we're going to have a really pretty sunrise. We're looking at a front. Of course, we had a front come through last night. That ushered in some chilly air for today. We're going to see a second front that pushes through tonight. That's going to bring a few light showers along with it. And then, of course, a shot of even colder air behind it. So it's chilly now. It may be even colder the next few mornings. Some 30s here on the map. 37 in Lewisburg, 30s in South Hill, Henderson, Roxborough, and Siler City. Wilson's at 42, Durham's at 44. We're looking at some 30s down to the south, too. Sanford, 39, 37 Robbins, 47 in Fayetteville, 42 Goldsboro, 41 Smithfield. It's chilly out there. We're going to see more temperatures in the 30s coming up, and possibly some patchy frost in some of our northern counties. But the first fall freeze tends to happen between the 21st and the 31st for most of us, and then that first week of November in some of our southern counties. So we're getting there. It's about time for us to start to see this. Our temperatures this afternoon will be in the mid-60s in the Triangle, 68 Fayetteville, 62 in South Hill, and then even cooler on Wednesday as we continue to see that cold air spilling in. 59 for the high. That's the coolest high since March 27th. Here comes the rain with that front that's going to deliver the cooler air. And we are seeing some showers up across the Ohio Valley, West Virginia, Kentucky. That slides in here later today. We may begin to see a little light rain up near Roxborough during the evening commute, and then it slides southward overnight. It's likely that we'll have some rain during the commute tomorrow morning. You can see that at 6 a.m. It does start to taper off around, say, 9 or 10, and then we'll see sunshine for the rest of the day on Wednesday. But it's going to be chilly. Speaking of chilly, how about this? This makes me very excited. It's going to be very, very little, but we do have a small chance of some snow flurries up around Snowshoe. They could see an inch or so. Beach Mountain may get a flurry or two, and then down into the Smokies, maybe just a light coating. At the same time, it is still the tropical season, or it's not. We're not quite to winter yet. 60% chance that this system in the tropics could develop into a tropical depression or a tropical storm, but it looks like it will stay to the south and affect the Caribbean. We have high pressure sitting over us, and that high will act as a blocker and most likely keep that storm down to the south. So our big weather story is the cold temperatures. Thursday, a high of 62 for the first day of the state fair, and Thursday night, 39. So it's going to be chilly. If that's too cold for you, don't worry, it's a little warmer for the weekend. The temperature is climbing into the low to mid 70s. Ken, another really fun thing is we have a comet to see coming up in a little while. I'll show you how to see it.
Looking forward to that. And here's what you can look forward to this morning. Hey, let's start on I-95. We've been watching a couple of incidents. One has already cleared, but there's another one that's still active in investigation on I-95 southbound near the I-95 I-40 split. We're not seeing any issues in that particular area, but we'll keep an eye on it for you and just keep you posted here in the WRAL Traffic Center. Bringing it back to Wake County this morning. This is a crash on I-540 in the westbound lane near Capitol Boulevard. Here again, it's not causing any problems based on our sensors. And if we take you outside and show you a camera at I-540 in Capitol Boulevard, you can't see the crash on this camera, but you can see the traffic is flowing nicely in both directions. Listen, if you're heading out this morning, Tune in to us on the radio, 101.5 HD3. You also have a couple other options, 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
Hundreds of thousands of homes in Florida are still without power days after Hurricane Milton. The work people there have ahead of them as they seek recovery help from FEMA.
College basketball season is almost here, and the first poll is out, where our Triangle teams stand in the rankings ahead of the first tip-off.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Aaron Rodgers had a special message for Damar Hamlin after their game last night.
Ken Smith here now with What's Trending. Ken.
Yeah, listen, Aaron Rodgers, this guy is a megastar, right? He greeted Hamlin on the field, but afterwards, Rodgers had his jersey sent to the locker room of the Bills with a special message for Hamlin. He said, "You're an inspiration to me and millions of others. Much love, my brother."
Oh, man, that's so cool because these two teams, the Jets and the Bills, they're in the same division. Okay, so they get after one another. They're rivals, and there were a few skirmishes during the game even. But afterwards, it was all about love, especially Hamlin, cardiac arrest on the field last year.
Huge.
So nice gesture there. Great show of sportsmanship from the losing quarterback to the winning safety there.
And a superstar quarterback at that.
Yeah.
Listen, a couple of Hollywood actors trending this morning. Hugh Jackson and Kate Hudson starring in an upcoming musical drama about a Neil Diamond tribute band. Song Sung Blue will follow two down-on-their-luck musicians who become local icons with their performances of Neil Diamond's hit songs.
Well, both actors are the triple threats. They can sing, act, and dance, and can't wait to see it.
That should be a fun movie.
Thanks, Ken. New this morning, Wolfspeed's huge plant in Chatham County is getting $750 million from the federal government. How the funding will be used to support that facility near Siler City.
And it's clear right now, but we'll see increasing clouds this afternoon and some showers tonight and into early tomorrow. I'll show you how it could affect our commute tomorrow morning.
And a rare sight in the sky over North Carolina. Where and when you need to look to catch your own glimpse of this celestial wonder.